Welcome to the Stock Workout, where we flex on the market to make gains. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Orbital Energy Group, ticker symbol OEG. Now, this had an absolute monster of a day, up 115.21%. They had some brilliant news that's come out post-market. It's also up another 2.23%. As you can see here, it's just like a straight line that's just going up. It's absolutely insane. Look where the price was in the last few weeks or so. And look what happened today. So the price literally jumped from about $3.50 all the way to highs of about $8.24, and it even closed at $7.64. So in this video, I'm going to take a look at the price action on the charts. We're going to do a bit of technical analysis on this. I'm going to point out a few things that you should take note of, and I'll go over the news that came out as well, just so that everybody can be updated on this. So let's start off with the news. Brilliant news. This is from Investor Place. So it says OEG Stock, the huge news lifting Orbital Energy shares today. What I'll do is I'll leave the links for these articles in the description down below so you can take a look yourself. But here we go. So today, investors in Orbital Energy Group are seeing rather impressive gains. So at the time of writing, it was up 70%. The move comes on extremely heavy volume, more than 160 million shares. This was at the time of writing. On closing, the volume was 232 million. So absolutely insane. So why the interest increased in this small cap name? So Orbital Energy announced an extremely bullish operational update for one of its core subsidiaries. On April the 14th, Orbital announced the acquisition of Gibson Technical Services in a deal worth 48 million. So this was a couple of weeks ago, 1.5 months ago really, and they announced the acquisition of Gibson Technical for 48 million. But it wasn't a game changer then, because when they announced it, it did little to stop the downtrend in this price. But anyway, let's read on. So it says today's announced awarding of a massive project to Gibson Technical Services could result in Orbital shareholders getting the deal of the year. Indeed, this deal initially appeared to be essentially a non-news event. It was a relatively small acquisition in size, so that's going back to when they purchased this Gibson Technical Services, and it didn't do much to stop the decline in the company's share price in recent months, as I said. Since hitting a high of more than $11 per share earlier this year, OEG stock declined to close last week at around $3.50 per share. Shout out and a hats off to anybody who bought at that price. However, today's shares of OEG have breached the $6 mark as investors pile into this company. Let's dive into what this announcement means for investors in OEG stock. So this is the news that was the game changer. So OEG stock soaring on large project awarded to subsidiary. So today's announcement of a project awarded by TEC of Jackson has spurred the current price action. The deal encompasses approximately 700 miles of engineering and construction turnkey services for TEC. This multi-year project appears to provide cash flow certainty for investors, something that's always good. Orbital subsidiary already began the first engineering phase of this project in April. However, this expanded scope stands to benefit Orbital shareholders who may have been pricing in a smaller scope of work from the initial acquisition. It appears that investors in OEG stock can partly thank President Joe Biden for this win. This deal is being privately funded by TEC Capital, but with assistance from the federal government. So the Rural Digital Opportunity Fund is partially funding this rural fiber build out. Accordingly, those bullish on the infrastructure services Orbital provides may be enticed to enter this play on hopes of additional contracts down the road. And this is a huge contract because TEC have this contract with this Rural Digital Orbital Fund, and that is from the federal government. So that is a huge contract that they've landed. So then the CEO made a comment. I'm not going to read it out. You guys can read it yourself. But that's basically what's happened. Now, this article didn't go into Oh wait, it did here, yep. So the deal encompasses approximately 700 miles of engineering construction turnkey. So that's what it is. But what it didn't mention is the value of the deal. So I'm gonna go into this article here from Yahoo Finance. It pretty much says the same thing. However, these lot do point out that the RDOF extends the Federal Communication Commission's Connect America Fund and will provide 20.4 billion in funding over a 10-year period to support broadband networks in rural communities across the company. So they've got a lot of money in the bank. And they've just partnered with TEC, which is a subsidiary of the one and only Orbital Energy Group. So that's the news that's come out. That's why you've seen an over 100% price increase in the share price. Huge news, absolutely huge news. The CEO he put out a comment. It says the award of this project from such a well-respected telecommunications service provider as TEC confirms GTS's ability to deliver the highest quality engineering and construction services. So the CEO put out his statement. This article here on Yahoo Finance gives a bit more information about TEC and then a bit more about Orbital Energy. But the main takeaway point is that Orbital Energy owns TEC, and TEC have landed this contract for 700 miles worth of this engineering and construction for this rural build out. So that is the news. I'll leave the links to both of these articles in the description down below. Now let's take a look at the chart. Absolutely monstrous day. Absolutely monstrous day. So I've got this hourly chart pulled up. First thing I want to point out is you can see this sort of bullish pennant that was formed in the day and in the power hour. So in the last hour or so, power hour broke out once again. That is good. That is something that we do want to see. Run up here, flag formation formed here, compression of price action, and another breakout. Now, um, let me start off by saying I have got the 21-day EMA up on the screen, this white line here, the 50, 100 and 200-day moving averages, which are down here, the orange, red and purple lines, and I've got the volume and the RSI on screen also. So where do we start? Let me start off with the 21-day EMA. So previously, the 21-day EMA was fluctuating above and below the 100-day and 200, the 100-day and 50-day moving average. Sorry, so the 50 and 100-day moving average, the 21-day EMA was crossing above and below that. Today, 21-day EMA just surpassed all three. Straight away, as you can see, it shot up 115%. So that's that. That's a bullish signal. It shows that bulls are in control, obviously, with 115% gain. That's pretty much common sense. Volume. Let's move on to volume. 232 million shares were exchanged today. Now, the average volume in the last 10 days is only 24 million. So, over 10 times the volume OEG saw today, which is why you see this huge push in this price. You saw this absolute huge push in the price. Now, this is where things get a little bit interesting. Now remember, this is the hourly chart, so it is a sort of bigger picture. I'm not going to go back too far and explain what was going on here, but on this hourly chart you can see that with this run up of price here, the RSI went all the way up to 90. So the RSI went up to 90. Now anything above 70 is overbought, anything under 30 is oversold. So we entered overbought territory. Then you saw the RSI come down a little bit, and that's when you're seeing this pennant formation here, a little bit of cooling off until it picked up again. But what happens over here is you see another huge spike. However, the RSI is still currently sat at overbought territory at 84. But, and this is the but, although it's in overbought territory, you've seen absolutely huge volume today. So it's expected to be in overbought territory. Now, what does that mean? That means there will be a pullback at some point. There will be a pullback at some point, but we don't know if this price is going to go further up before there is a pullback. So this price could actually run up even higher before there's a pullback, and that's happened before with a lot of stocks. It actually happened with a stock today, VTNR. I've done a video on that as well, and we did see a pullback in that. However, in the overall picture, after running up 115%, if you were to drop 5 or 10%, even 15%, you know what you're worried about. So yeah, we are in overbought territory at the minute. RSI sat at 84. Remember, stocks don't move up in a straight line, so even if this RSI does come down and the stock price does come down a little bit, it's just cooling off, consolidating before the next run up. So just remember that and keep that in mind. Me personally, I do have skin in the game. I am an owner of OEG stock. I wish I loaded up down here, but who is to know? Those who did, hats off to you. I wish I did, but I am an OEG stock holder, and this is one company that I do believe in. It's got a market cap of only just under 400 million. We'll call it 400 million. That's what the market cap is. And they've got such a huge deal, and they're in so many different aspects of business, as we already know, and they've done so many deals this year alone. I only see this stock going up much higher than it is now. But now let's go on to the daily chart just to show you that we have had an absolute trend reversal. Look at that, opened up. So we gapped up from the last trading day, and then we just went higher and higher and higher. But if I zoom out here, this is the daily chart. You can see this was the last peak up here at about $11, and this was in January. And then from there, we've just sort of had a sell-off, a downtrend coming all the way down. And this one single day, look at the volume here. Look at the daily volumes. I mean, in this last run up, all the way from in January really, so from the 5th of Jan all the way up until this green candle here on the 26th of Jan. So these 21 days, these 3 weeks, you can see the volumes down here. You can see the volume at that time was high. Look at this green candle today. It absolutely blows all the volume out of the park for the last 6 months. That's the last 6 months. It blows the volume out of the park. Now, look at this downtrend that's coming down here. We've just completely broken out of it. We've completely broken out of it. I am not entirely sure if we will even see these price levels again. I'm not sure if we'll see these price levels again. Absolutely huge from OEG. I'm so pumped about this. But on this daily chart, to give you a huge perspective over the last 6 months or so, 21-day EMA crossed below that 50-day moving average and the 100-day moving average. It was approaching this 200-day moving average, but today just you can see this uptick here. The stock price held that 200-day moving average. The 200-day moving average is always a good indicator of some level of support and stability for a stock. Stock price came down here, bounced off this 200-day EMA. It bounced off this 200-day simple moving average, the SMA. It bounced off this 200-day moving average, and it rose up a little bit, bounced off it again. So it's had a double bounce off that 200-day moving average. And then it was coming up slightly higher in the last few trading days until it absolutely gapped up today. So we have broken that downtrend. Confirmation, we have broken the downtrend. Now I've zoomed in. I've gone to the 1-minute chart. This is the 1-minute chart here, just to show today's price action. And now this is just today's price action. So this is the 1st of June. And the first thing that I can see, we gapped up in the morning, huge bull flag here, consolidation of price action here, pennant formation, and we had a breakout. So we had a run up here, here's the pole, here's the consolidation of price action, and we had a breakout. We've had this breakout, we moved higher. Now, what am I looking at in the sort of last hour of the day? It seems to me like we are forming another flag formation. Now you got to remember, on this minute chart here, the RSI is now currently at 52, so we are at neutral at this $7.79, just pretty much hairline above neutral. Neutral would be the 50 mark. But throughout the day, we have been sort of, as you can see here, we were in overbought territory, so we were at 90. And then we saw low points here at around 22 as well. We did see that twice, and that's just a little bit of this fluctuation of the price here. However, we didn't see huge swings. So usually when you see the RSI go from a high to a low, not usually, but on some stocks, you see huge swings of a couple of dollars even, one, two, maybe even $3. But these are not too bad. So even from this point here, um, this is at the pretty much 70 mark. And when you come down to here, which is at 30, the difference in price was only about $6.38 to $5.49. So it's less than a dollar. It's less than a dollar's difference. But you saw this consolidation of price action, and we saw another breakout again. This looks to me like another flag formation is being formed, and I am expecting this to go higher. On the minute chart, it did cool off, so at a few points here, you can see if I was to zoom in further on a sort of minute by minute action, you can see little flag formations here. So here's the run up, here's consolidation of price action, and we had a breakout. Here's a run up again, consolidation of price action, and a breakout. And then here the price did come down quite low, but another little mini flag formation in the after hours, a run up of the price, consolidation of price action here, and a breakout. So it is looking really good from a chart and from a technical perspective. This is looking really good to me. Over here, when you saw in the after hours, now a lot of you will have seen this, when you saw the price come down to here, RSI was also really low. So the RSI was about 31. And then the RSI picked up, and so did the price, and it ended up at $7.79. So on the 1 minute chart, the RSI is pretty much neutral. It's looking good. It looks like another flag formation is forming, but do bear in mind on that hourly chart. On that hourly chart, RSI was above 80, so it is in the overbought territory. Now, this with these flag formations, it could continue going higher before there's a pullback, but there will be a pullback at a certain stage. We can't say how big of a pullback or how much of a pullback, but it is necessary for a pullback to happen for this stock to sustain that price healthily, so it doesn't become too volatile. Once it has that pullback, just keep holding. Just keep holding, because it will pull back and then it will start forming more flag formations and breaking out again. This is an absolute beast of a stock. I've been in this myself since around February, I think it was. So I've been in it for the last 4 months. I've seen the price go from really high down all the way to that really low. A little bit disappointed in it. I know they were making acquisitions. I was following it, but here we are. It's a small cap company that's doing absolutely big things. And it's a great company, because I remember the partnerships they did a couple of months back as well. All of them catalysts at the time did boost the price. Overall, it was in a downtrend. We've broken out of that downtrend. Keep an eye out on the RSI. Let it cool off. If you're looking to enter in this, enter at a stage when the RSI is in this purple range here, hopefully closer to the neutral. If you can get in at the dips when the RSI is in the oversold territory, that's the perfect time to buy a dip, because what happens is a whole load of people dump shares, or maybe even institutions might dump shares. They'll dump shares, and then whoever buys at when the RSI is quite low, because there's been a whole load of shares dumped into the market, the minute them shares are rebought by other people, RSI picks up, price picks up. So if you're looking to enter when the RSI is quite low. So that's it for this video. Really good price action, flag formation there, and a breakout. It seems to me like another flag formation is forming, and we could potentially see another breakout tomorrow. Fingers crossed. That's it for this video. If you appreciate that, hit the like button. Drop us a comment. Let me know where you think Orbital Energy is going, what you think the price is going to be. Let me know what price you got in at as well. That'll be an interesting one. And yeah, hit subscribe so I can keep bringing you more content. I'll see you on the next one.